Well, hello out there. Free Ronstadt and occupied Ronstadt. This is Wilkes Majorn with more Lancer Radio. Just wishing all our best to our fans, both in the Progressive Trades United, Alvin Guthrie, and all you folks still under shining atoll rule elsewhere in the Ronstadt system. Well, it's hopping right back into the continuing travails of everyone's favorite loose ends, the Paradox Core.
Lightning's breathing was heavy. His new frame was exhilarating. The power of it coursed through his brain, through his uplink ports, filling him with endorphins and pushing him nearly to the edge. It was only after he heard the comms a third time that he snapped back to himself. It was Monolith, telling him to stand down. The Half-Walker's theirs, the administrative hub was theirs, everything was theirs. It had been 30 seconds. As Ocean surveyed the area, he noticed the devastation surrounding him. The other large mech he had engaged lay at his feet, shredded to pieces by Zenkido's talons. The cockpit was ripped open and torn apart, the pilot within. Bloody, oh god.
I don't...
He breathed lightly before engaging his comms.
Confirmed. Lightning pulling out.
As he turned his mech around, Ocean began the slow process of bleeding off heat from his reactor, slowing his mech down and putting it back in standby mode. They had taken the half-block in seconds, and Ocean felt pride swell in his chest, but he couldn't help but feel a knot in the pit of his stomach.
What's wrong, Lightning? Shoot, I thought we was having fun. Why'd we stop?
Mater said over internal comms. A shiver ran down Ocean's spine. He'd enjoyed the idea of ripping his enemies apart piece by piece, and that made Lightning equal parts terrified and excited.
Ever since the race before the mission a few days ago, things have been spiraling out of control. The race itself went off amazing, but at the last heat, Ocean rode his borrowed rig and totally wrecked it. He didn't like owing anyone money, so he promised to pay the guy back, and lucky for him, about 1,000 mana just so happened to pop into his account at that exact moment. In the ensuing chaos, he easily paid his benefactor back for his total rig, but Lightning's good name had been dragged through the dirt by that crash. The only broadcast on the station news as far as Lightning could notice was his spectacular crash. How he escaped without injury was even a mystery to him, actually looking at it. But he could hear them, the whispers, the giggles. The people at Guthrie thought he was a laughingstock, and honestly, he was.
It's been years since I was behind the wheel of anything but a mech. What was I thinking?
He arrived back at the Felseer to see his team praising Halo for giving them an advance on their payment for the next Lego mission. That's where the 1,000 mana had come from them.
Shit. Now I'm 100 mana short for my next license. What am I gonna do?
It was at this moment Haywood gave him a knowing look, slipped him a data pad. Loading up, he realized laying jailed and gladly accepted the cost. As he set the fabricator to begin building his new mech, he started fiddling with Mater's housing, upgrading the basic casket so he could proper process what he was piloting, giving him an extra edge in combat. He may not be in the original frame he planned on purchasing, but these Enkidu look promising. And with Mater at the helm, he was certain these mech would perform beyond expectations.
Kapow! Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Speed, Steel, and Stars. I'm your host, Lightning, the fastest racer turned mech pilot in the galaxy. Today, I've got a wild ride of a story to share with y'all, so buckle up and hang on tight. As you know, my team and I run a mercenary company that takes on the toughest missions in the cosmos. And let me tell you, our latest mission was a real doozy. We were tasked with taking down the last remnants of the evil corporate overlords on the space station Guthrie. Picture this, me and my crew, charging into battle in our mechs, lasers blasting and engines roaring. It was like something out of a turbocharged dream, but as exhilarating as it was, something was different this time. You see, ever since retiring from racing, I found a new thrill in the heat of battle. The adrenaline rush, the thrill of victory, it's addictive, and on Guthrie that addiction took hold of me like never before. I've been grappling with my career since I had to retire from racing to join up with the Long Rim and defend us from all sorts of oppressors, but I think for the first time since winning the Galaxy Cup, lightning has struck again. I reveled in the clash of metal on metal like never before, but something still doesn't quite feel right. But hey, enough of the heavy stuff. Despite the inner turmoil, we did some good on Guthrie. The people are finally free from the clutches of those corporate tyrants, and that's something to celebrate. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for today. But don't worry, I'll be back with more tales from the front lines soon. Until then, remember to keep your engines revved and your spirits high. This is Lightning, signing off.
Lightning set up the usual program to begin uploading his latest episode. The viewership was entitled. All over the Omninet were videos of his horrific crash, and people was making a laughing stock of him. At this point, his racing career might well and truly be over, and he'll cease to even be a blip on the books of racing history. Ocean had refused to set foot back on Guthrie after the events of the previous mission. As soon as they returned, he was met with suspicious glances from most of the citizenry, and outright disgust from the previous ruling class of the station and their friendly media allies. They had freed them at last from their oppressive yoke, but he knew why they stared. The station news was abuzz with a massive red neck, with a bloodthirsty desire for complete destruction of the enemies of the PTU. And it didn't take much to link that mech to him. He watched as the vid screen showed his mech rip the Bastion in half with 2 swipes of its plasma claws. It was at this point that he had forgotten what actually transpired. But the images were now seared into his subconscious from both perspectives. The Enkidu reached down into the bisected mech line at the beat and ripped the cockpit compartment clean out. A guttural screech echoed from the onboard speakers as it hurled the small metal tube directly into the ground. It cracked and splintered like a meat-filled grenade. Ocean snapped back to reality as he found himself back in his bunk again. He looked up to see himself smiling at his camera, and he couldn't tell if he was terrified or losing his mind. He enjoyed what he did to that mech, its pilot. Something was happening, and he didn't know what was, but he made a mental note to go see the doc and get his opinion, at least eventually. Seems like Lightning's having himself a real tough time out there. It's always tough when your teammate tells you anything can do. That's what I always say. Hopefully we'll get some help from Lightning. Until next time, just keep your ears open for freedom, and a special salute over to the Progressive Trades Union. And really hoping that them comment haulers do drop it off, because we did sign on over here at Pirate Radio. This is Wilkes Majorn signing off.